Welcome to the Cybersecurity Go-to-Market podcast for a special showcase episode where we're talking to leaders of the companies selected for the 2024 RSAC Conference Innovation Sandbox. These are the very, very few, in fact, just 10 companies the judges have selected out of hundreds, if not over 1,000, as the most innovative startups in cybersecurity today. I am your host, Andrew Monahan, and today we're talking with Ofer Maor, CTO and co-founder at Mitiga. Ofer, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, and thanks for having me here.
Yeah, this is an exciting time, I'm sure, for Mitiga, right? Getting selected down to just the last 10. That's a heck of an accomplishment for you all.
Thank you. Yeah, it is very, very exciting.
So first question for you, Ofer. Where in the world did you have your first sandbox?
So I grew up in Israel, in Haifa. It's the third largest city. It's in the north of the country. I grew up in a pretty good home. Both of my parents are PhDs, one in physics, one in chemistry. So, no pressure growing up at all. And in fact, I always joke that I'm the black sheep of the family because everybody else in my family, my sister, my brother, everybody's got PhDs. And I just went to do companies instead.
You're just a merely successful founder of a startup or two. So if you're the black sheep, then that's a heck of a position to be in.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
My sister actually was on a cruise in the Mediterranean last year, and they stopped in at Haifa for a day, and she said it was awesome. She loved it.
Yeah, it's a harbor town. It's on a mountain by the beach. It's really, really nice.
She sent me a picture of this huge staircase. Is a huge road that goes straight down from up in the mountain somewhere. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about the business side then. What's the story of the founding of the company?
So it's pretty funny. So I have two co-founders, Tal and Ariel. Tal and I had two other companies before, which we sort of spin out one out of the other and sold both of them. So we were both working at two big corporates after selling the two companies. And then we both decided to leave. And we've been talking back and forth, we need to leave, do something new. And then finally, I'm at a cruise in the Maldives, scuba diving cruise. And I get a call from Tal. Oh, this VC introduced me to this other guy from 8200, right? You need to have one of those in the founding team. And I think we should start a company. You're in? I said, well, sure. And I spent half of the cruise between dives going on con calls, trying to figure out what is the company that we're building.
So I've never heard of someone doing conference calls between scuba dives. That's a great situation to be in.
Well, you can't do them while scuba diving. That doesn't work. So
I once did a forecast call from a chairlift at a ski resort. Not quite the same, but I could do that at the same time, right? I could actually talk, which was fun. So what's the problem, Ofer, that you're solving at Mitiga, and who cares about it? Who are you solving this problem for?
So everybody cares about it. So the problem
that's a problem. That's a problem right there.
That's a problem. The problem is that we're moving to the cloud. Everybody gets that, right? And for some years now, we've built, as an industry right now, we've built technologies to help us build more secure and robust cloud environments. But what we haven't done is help the other side of the security operations, the people that need to respond to breaches and incident. We haven't given them any tools to move to the cloud. But the attackers are now moving to the cloud as well. And so as attackers are moving to the clouds, attacks are going big. And the teams, our last line of defense, right? The people, the security operations, the defenders, the people that sit in 24/7 shifts and try to stop attacks don't have the right tools to deal with attacks in the cloud. And this is the problem we're solving.
So these companies have deployed, pick your acronym, ASPM, CSPM, DSPM, yes. Right? But it's still, obviously, there's going to be attacks and they need to be able to have a way to respond. And you're giving them like a dashboard, a tool set that enables them to watch and then take action.
Right. So if you think about the SPMs of the world, right? Asterisk SPMs, it's posture, right? They help you. They tell you when something is open. Think of it, in a physical world. Think of it, somebody coming to look at your bank and says, oh, you're missing bars on this back door. Somebody can go in. but they don't deal with what happens once somebody gone in. And then the people who have to defend, they need different tools. And the cloud, being the cloud, is big, complex, so many different types of services. So they need tools that can make sense out of this scale and complexity, just like we needed them, right, for the posture side. That's what posture tools did. We need that for detection and response. And that's what we're giving. It's, of course there's dashboards and stuff, but the essence is giving them the right context, the right information out of, insane amounts of information that's out there in the cloud, giving the right information contextualized so that they can understand what's going on and respond to it quickly in seconds, in minutes, because you don't have time. Everything goes really fast in the cloud.
And the idea of detection and response obviously has been around for a while. You're bringing it to the cloud. What is the big innovation about how you do that, though, at the scale and speed of the cloud world that the judges would have looked at and said, there's our finalist right there?
So there are three big parts that everybody talking about the cloud in every aspect will tell you, right? There's scale, complexity, and expertise. Those are the three things that are different in the cloud. The mass amounts of services, servers, workloads, everything in the cloud, the complexity. So there isn't just like, here's 100,000 Windows machines, but they're machines of different sizes, types, Kubernetes, EC2s, multi-cloud, SaaS services, IaaS, identity, all that. And then the people don't have the expertise. So our innovation is about taking all that and making it so it's easy to understand what's going on, right? How do we do that? We're able to collect insane amounts of data. We have already petabytes of data, something that normal security operation tools can't deal with. We make sense out of the complexity. We've spent years in research. We've been around for 4 years. We have a big research team. All we do is research, how do attacks in the cloud look like? We build what we call the cloud attack scenario library. So we understand how it looks, how it manifests through the different data sources. And then we just cherry pick the pieces of data that are relevant for an attack and put them in front of you. And it could be pieces of data that come from 20 different sources. I was just showing demos in the last 2 days to a bunch of people, and everybody's looking like, wow, this gives me, in one view, something that could take me a day to investigate on my own. And that's assuming you know what you're doing.
And is your vision then that you're enabling existing operations center folks who perhaps aren't cloud experts to become obviously much more rich and expert in the cloud world, or are you trying to enable cloud security experts to be able to do that?
Both, but I think the big challenge is how to enable those that are not experts. I mean, the experts, they could probably get it done. It will take them a lot longer without our solution, but they could get it done. The non-experts, they just can't get it done. And we don't have enough cloud experts to work in SecOps. Keep in mind, SecOps, and especially SOC analyst, is fairly entry-level job to begin with. Of course, they're senior SecOps individuals, but SOC analysts, the people that do the 24/7 shifts, it's a career starting job. Over time, people get better, and most of them will leave to the more senior IR jobs or go into other areas of security. And even if you're very good, being able to understand how attacks look like in 100 different cloud services is an impossible task.
And the buyer is who? The SOC leader, or does it go higher than that?
It's between the SOC leader and the CISOs, because what we see is that a lot of CISOs today understand that they have gap in SecOps in the cloud. And so the SecOps people obviously want the tools to help them do their job. The CISOs want to know that they have coverage for attacks in the cloud. And one of the things we're actually doing for CISOs, which our customers really love, is on top of this platform, we automate a lot of the detection, of course. But whenever something big happens, right, like the last Sisense breach or the last MGM breach or Microsoft Storm or Midnight Blizzard, anything you hear in the news, let's call it this way, we build specific detection for that within hours after it blows up, and we run it for our customers, and we deliver them within the platform a report that says where they stand in regard to that. Are they impacted, not impacted? Should they investigate further? And this is extremely valuable because what happens in these cases today is that the CISO gets a call from a board member or a CEO or somebody that doesn't really know security, and all they care about is like, is this impacting us? Like, I heard on the Wall Street Journal that MGM got breached. And so we give a lot of value there for the CISO as well, and of course for the SecOps team.
Yeah, that's a powerful use case right there. Take the board, take the CEO, the CFO off my back, please, with that simple, easy to read report. I can definitely see the value in that. When we're looking at to 2024, Ofer, what's the big goals for the company for the rest of the year?
So, we're growing really fast. We are expanding now a lot in the big companies, the Fortune 500s. When we were younger, most of the companies that were looking at SecOps in the cloud were more of the technology born in the cloud type of companies. But now, as cloud attacks are on the rise and everybody's moving substantially to the cloud, we're going more and more into large organizations. And so our goal is to grow, do more integrations with the rest of the ecosystem and the SecOps, workflow and lifecycle, and be able to help more and more organizations respond to breaches in the cloud because they're coming. And, it's a real problem. If you look at some of the stats, it's actually really interesting. If you're familiar with IBM's cost of data breach report, they've been publishing it year over year. The last 2 years, they started asking about cloud. In 2022, 45% of breaches had a part in the cloud. Last year, it was 82%. So double in 1 year. And cloud breaches take longer to respond to, longer to detect. And because of that, they cost more. Their impact is higher. So we really look to help organizations reduce the impact of their cloud breaches.
So it sounds like expansion and headcount growth
Of
is
course.
what you're after, of course, right? That's where you're going.
Like every startup.
And let's talk about RSA. So we got it coming up now in less than 2 weeks. Gosh, it's coming up fast. Except for the wild celebrations of winning the Sandbox, what else do you guys have planned for that week?
Wow, we have a very busy RSA. So on top of the Sandbox, I have 2 other talks I'm doing at RSA. So I usually speak at RSA. I got 2 talks accepted this year. So Monday I'm doing the Sandbox, Tuesday 1 talk, Wednesday the other talk. Going to be busy. We have a pretty exciting booth where we'll show all our stuff. And if you're interested and this appeals to you, by all means, come and get a demo. And, a bunch of events, VC events, customer meetings, the usual stuff you do in a conference.
Well, listen, I wish you huge success for the year. Good luck for the Sandbox. I hope you get your name in lights, not just doing the presentation, but actually getting into the final 2 and then hopefully winning the whole thing. So I wish you success for that and for the rest of the year.
Thank you very much.